believe that you fathered one of Miss Thorpe's twins and not the other. You claim a botched home DNA test separated you from your daughter, London, and you intend to rectify that issue today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You say Mr. Morris's efforts to go behind your back blew up in his face, and you intend to clean up his mess today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can one man father two fraternal twins, or is it possible that one of them isn't his? In today's case, we meet Mr. Morris and Ms. Thorpe, who've been through a roller coaster of emotions. Mr. Morris thought he was the proud father of two beautiful twins, Paris and London. But as time went on, doubts started creeping in. After a home DNA test, he's left questioning everything. He believes he might be the father of only one of the twins, not both. On the other hand, Miss Thorpe stands firm. She's convinced Mr. Morris is the father of both her children, and she's not sure why he's suddenly creating drama. This situation is full of tension, uncertainty, and trust issues. Today, they're in court seeking answers. Can a DNA test really uncover the truth, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Stick around as we dive deeper into their complicated relationship. Mr. Morris and Ms. Thorpe's relationship began like many others, filled with excitement and hope for the future. They were expecting twins, Paris and London, and both were overjoyed by the news. Mr. Morris was there from the beginning, showing up to every doctor's appointment and making sure Ms. Thorpe was comfortable during her pregnancy. He wanted to be a hands-on father, buying baby gear, preparing the nursery, and even moving her into a family member's home to make her feel secure. He was excited and ready to become a father. As time went on, Mr. Morris's bond with the twins only grew stronger. He was there for the birth, and he was the first person allowed to hold the babies after they were born. Despite the babies being premature and weighing just 3 pounds, he stayed by Ms. Thorpe's side in the hospital, nurturing the babies back to health. Mr. Morris was fully invested in being their father, supporting Ms. Thorpe emotionally and financially. But after some time, things started to take a turn. Mr. Morris began to question the paternity of the twins. His doubts didn't arise from anything obvious, but rather from a series of strange circumstances. Over time, he started wondering if maybe neither of the twins were his. He couldn't explain why exactly, but something about the situation felt off. At first, he pushed those feelings aside, unsure of how to handle them. Then came a moment that would change everything. One day, Mr. Morris was in a local drugstore when a DNA test caught his eye. Though it might sound crazy, the DNA test was almost calling out to him. Without saying anything to Miss Thorpe, he purchased it on a whim. Back at home, he swabbed himself and one of the twins, Paris, without her knowledge. He didn't know which twin he had tested, but he sent the samples in to be analyzed. When the results came back, they showed a 0% probability of paternity. Mr. Morris was left in shock and confusion. His doubts about being the father of the twins quickly grew. He tried to explain the situation to Ms. Thorpe, but it was clear that his actions had created even more tension between them. The DNA test, which was supposed to provide clarity, ended up fueling the fire. It didn't help that he had done the test without her knowledge, which only made things worse. Despite all of this, Ms. Thorpe was steadfast in her belief that Mr. Morris was the father of both twins. She had her own version of events and insisted that there was no reason to doubt Mr. Morris's role in their lives. She claimed that even though she had briefly seen another man during their relationship, the timing was clear. Mr. Morris was the father of both her children. She insisted that they were a couple throughout her pregnancy and that he had been involved in every step of the process, from the baby showers to the doctor's appointments. She argued that Mr. Morris had been present when the babies were born, and he was the one who had held them first, supported her emotionally, and helped care for them while they were in the NICU. She was convinced that he was their father, and couldn't understand why he was questioning things now. Ms. Thorpe acknowledged that she had briefly been seeing another man during the time she and Mr. Morris were together, but she emphasized that the timing made it clear that Mr. Morris was the father. She said they were still involved in a relationship when she got pregnant and that there was no way the other man could be the father. Ms. Thorpe also argued that Mr. Morris's behavior seemed to stem from an overreaction to the botched DNA test. He had done the test behind her back, which she felt was a violation of trust, and now he was using the results of that test to challenge everything. In her eyes, the problem wasn't that Mr. Morris might not be the father. It was that he wasn't. Trusting her, she firmly believed that he was just hurt and confused, and that this whole situation could have been avoided if he had been open with her. She felt betrayed by his actions, but she continued to stand by the fact that Mr. Morris was the father of both twins. To her, there was no doubt. She was ready to fight for that truth, regardless of the test results. The courtroom drama reached new heights as Mr. Morris and Ms. Thorpe confronted each other over the issue of paternity. Tensions were running high, especially after Mr. Morris took matters into his own hands with the DNA test, causing a rift between them. Miss Thorpe, furious about his secret test, felt betrayed. She had no idea Mr. Morris had doubts until he suddenly confronted her with the shocking news that the test results came back showing he wasn't the father of either twin. But it wasn't just the DNA test that created the drama. It was the way Mr. Morris handled the situation. After the test results, he didn't just keep it between them. Instead, he posted about it on social media, claiming that the twins weren't his. This public declaration made things even worse. He didn't even tell Ms. Thorpe about the post. Beforehand, the damage had already been done. His words were out in the open for all their friends, family, and the public to see, further deepening the mistrust between them. Ms. Thorpe found out about the social media post when she was at work. She wasn't given the chance to respond to Mr. Morris right away, so when she did finally get a message, it was filled with anger. She explained how hurt she was by his actions, but Mr. Morris seemed more focused on the test results than on the emotional fallout from his decision to air their personal issues online. He admitted to posting it out of frustration, but it wasn't enough to calm Ms. Thorpe's anger. To her, this wasn't just about a DNA test, it was about respect and trust. As the court proceedings continued, the tension only escalated. Both parties argued fiercely, trying to get their point across. Mr. Morris was insistent that the botched test results were the root of his doubts, while Ms. Thorpe continued to defend herself, stressing that she never gave him a reason to doubt her or the twins' paternity. The audience could feel the palpable tension between them as each side accused the other of wrongdoing. Ms. Thorpe made it clear that she had always been there for Mr. Morris and never did anything to make him question his role as a father. She was frustrated that he couldn't see past the mistakes of the test. Her claim was that he was overreacting to an error, and she pointed out that despite the DNA test mix-up, Mr. Morris had been a father to both children. He had been there when they were born, supported her emotionally during the pregnancy, and was committed to raising the twins, at least up until the doubts started creeping in. Meanwhile, Mr. Morris maintained his stance, stressing that he wasn't, questioning the love he felt for the twins or their place in his life. His doubts, in his mind, were based on the test, which seemed like undeniable proof. He wasn't just doubting Ms. Thorpe. He was doubting the very foundation of their relationship. The way he saw it, if the DNA test results were wrong, everything he had believed about the twins could be wrong too. By the end of the court session, both parties were exhausted and emotionally drained. The courtroom witnessed a clash of emotions, accusations, and ultimately the unraveling of a relationship built on trust and doubt. As the judge prepared to announce the results, both Mr. Morris and Miss Thorpe sat on the edge of their seats, knowing that this verdict would change everything. The dramatic culmination of their argument had built to a point where only the final truth, revealed by the court, would provide any closure. The judge finally delivered the much-anticipated verdict, and the courtroom went silent as everyone waited for the truth to be revealed. In the case of Morris versus Thorpe, the results were read aloud, and the outcome was nothing short of shocking. First, it was confirmed that Mr. Morris is not the father of Paris, one of the twins. The courtroom gasped, but that was only the beginning. The second result for London was announced. The results showed the same thing. Mr. Morris is not the father of London either. This revelation hit like a ton of bricks. For Mr. Morris, the news was devastating. After all the doubts, the secret test, and the social media drama, the truth was finally out, but it wasn't what he wanted to hear. He was emotionally overwhelmed, having hoped for a different outcome, one that would confirm he was the father of at least one of the twins. But in that moment, he realized the truth. The test results had revealed something far more complicated than he had ever imagined. Ms. Thorpe, on the other hand, appeared less shocked by the results. While it was clear she didn't expect the twins to not be Mr. Morris's biological children, she admitted that another man, one she had briefly been involved with during her relationship with Mr. Morris, was, in fact, their father. It wasn't easy for her to accept that she had to face this truth publicly, especially after all the time spent insisting that Mr. Morris was the father. The impact of the judgment was immense. For Mr. Morris, the emotional toll was significant. The betrayal he felt had been confirmed. For Ms. Thorpe, the aftermath was just as painful. The courtroom battle and the public revelation of the twins' paternity would likely forever change the relationship between her and Mr. Morris. Both parties now had to confront the reality of their situation, and for the twins, the road ahead was full of uncertainty regarding their father figures. The court's decision forced everyone involved to face the truth they had been avoiding for years. In the end, this case proved how a simple question of paternity can unravel so much more. Mr. Morris and Ms. Thorpe's entire relationship, built on trust, was shaken to its core. The truth wasn't what anyone expected, but sometimes reality forces us to face what we don't want to see. This case is a reminder that, in the end, the truth always comes out, no matter how painful it may be. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking stories.